Hi everyone, my name is Grace. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be taking you all through a yoga flow that'll help to loosen up those tight hips and hamstrings. So as always, we're going to start in a nice seated easy pose, just drawing our attention to our breath, letting go of any outside distractions from our day-to-day lives. Coming to the present moment, inhaling peace and cleansing energy, and exhaling any stress, tension, or worries. Here's where you could set your intention for your practice. What are you hoping to get out of the remainder of the half hour here? Inhale and exhale. We're going to transition to our seated staff pose with our legs flat out in front of us. Toes are flexed in towards us to activate the legs. Inhale to lift the arms up tall towards the sky. And exhale to fold over the legs, reaching for the toes or the ankles if you can, or just placing your hands gently on your legs, thighs, shins, wherever you can comfortably reach. Being mindful of your lower back and neck. If your lower back and neck start to feel any tension or uncomfortableness, you can always just gaze out in front of you to alleviate that tension. We never want to force a fold. Whenever you're ready, start to bring your spine, torso back in. Draw the arms back to heart center, and we're going to transition to all fours. So coming to your hands and knees, stacking the joints, palms are beneath your shoulders, knees are beneath your hips. We're going to start with some gentle hip circles, flowing the hips in one direction to begin. Just letting go of any tension that we may be holding there. And then whenever you're ready, start to circle the hips in the opposite direction, keeping in mind that everything that we do to one side of the body, we must do to the other. That's how we keep our body in that good alignment and stay in balance. Coming back to all fours in your own time, go right into your dynamic cat and cow flow, dipping the belly, lifting the gaze, and then pressing gently into your mat or blanket, arching your spine. Gaze is downwards, and we're just gonna flow with our breath, just like we did with our hip circles, going at your own pace. We really just want to experience and enjoy that full range of spinal mobility here. Finish your last round of cat and cow, coming back to all fours when you're ready, tucking the back toes, bringing the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out the legs here, alternating your bent knee and then driving the opposite heel down into your mat to stretch out the calf muscles. whenever you're ready, either walk or hop the hands and feet together, coming into a standing forward fold. You could grab blocks, placing your hands on blocks just to bring the ground a little bit closer. You could also grab opposite elbows, allowing the upper body to just hang, feeling the deep release in your hamstrings. Again, not trying to force the fold, and being mindful of your lower back and neck. You can always come into that halfway lift, gazing out in front of you to release tension. But whenever you are ready, rise fully to standing, bringing the palms to heart center. And from your staying mountain pose, drive those arms up tall towards the sky, folding deeply again, coming into a sun salutation. Gaze out, halfway lift, fold forward fully again. Hop or walk your hands and feet back, coming into that high plank. Lower yourself down, pressing into the palms of your hands, upward dog to your downward facing dog. We're gonna step that left foot forward, coming to a low lunge. Lower that back right knee, grab your blocks, one either side of that left foot to support the hands, and again, bring the ground closer to you. Here we're going to flow into our half splits, really gonna work on stretching out that hamstring muscle in the back of the leg. If holding your half splits feels uncomfortable, you can add a dynamic motion, a dynamic flow, going from low lunge and back to your half splits, just keeping everything loose, not only in the hamstring, but also in your hips. And remember to keep breathing here. Your breath is so incredibly powerful. So remember to breathe in that cleansing, rejuvenating energy and send that energy to any part of the body. In this case, maybe your hamstrings, your hips, maybe your entire leg, wherever your body needs a little bit of an extra energy boost. We're gonna start to transition back to that low lunge and then heel toeing our left foot over to the right side of your mat, coming into our pigeon pose. This is a great hip opener. You wanna try and create an L shape or 90-degree angle with that front left leg. However, if you feel any tension or pain in your left knee, just bring that left heel closer to your right hip flexor. We should only be feeling the stretch in our legs, hips, and glutes, never in that knee. So make sure we're listening to our bodies, and also try to keep your hips as squared and centered as you can. Definitely easier said than done, but just do your best. Naturally, we're gonna drop our hips or sit back on that left hip. And then get comfortable here, whether your heart and chest remain lifted or you want to fold over the left leg, stacking the arms, relaxing your forehead on the stacked arms or blocks. Melt into the pose, feeling your hips release as you breathe. Inhale deeply here, and on your next exhalation, slowly and gently, start by lifting your gaze, and then guide your left knee back next to the right. Stack the joints, coming back to all fours, tabletop position, tucking the back toes, floating the hips forward and back. Downward facing dog. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So step your right foot forward between the hands, relax your back left knee, low lunge, grab blocks if you would like, placing them underneath the palms, opening up the heart and chest here, protecting your lower back and neck, and then flowing right into that half splits. Goal being to try to straighten that right knee as best as you can. Just keeping in mind that it is more than okay to have a slight bend in the knee if that feels better for your hamstring. Again, option to flow from that low lunge to your half splits, just to keep the body in motion and to release any uncomfortable tension in those stubborn areas, the hips and hamstrings. And just like we did on the other side, come back to that low lunge and then start to heel toe the right foot over to the left side of your mat. Coming into pigeon pose on the other side. Creating that L shape or 9-degree angle with the right leg. Option to bring that right heel closer to your left hip flexor if you experience any knee pain whatsoever. Heart and chest can remain lifted, doing your best to keep your hips squared and centered, or you could fold over the right leg, stacking the arms using blocks or no blocks. Just getting comfortable, relaxing into the pose, melting into the pose more and more with each exhalation. Take a big, deep, cleansing inhale. And on your next exhalation, again, start by gently lifting the gaze, allowing the torso to follow, bringing the right knee back next to the left, tucking the back toes, bringing the hips forward, and then up and back to your downward facing dog. Pedal out the knees here. And whenever you're ready, option to walk or hop the feet towards the hands, coming into that standing forward fold, halfway lift, gaze out, fold forward fully, and then rise all the way up to standing mountain pose. Extend the arms up tall by the ears, bring the palms back down to heart center. Beautiful. We're now going to really work those hips and inner thighs here in our wide-legged sequence. So have your blocks ready in case you want to rest your palms on them as you fold. We're just going to bring our legs into a comfortable wide-legged position, nothing too crazy, keeping in mind that the further your feet are from each other, the more you're going to feel the stretch in your inner thighs and hips. And coming right into your fold here, placing your hands either on blocks or the mat, being gentle and aware of your lower back and neck, gazing out in front of you if that feels better for your practice today, or folding deeper. Walking our hands over to our left leg, you can place your hands next to or on top of the left foot. Gonna get a nice stretch in that right side of the body as you fold to the left. And we're gonna walk our hands over to the right. Just doing some quick side stretches here in our wide-legged fold. Now directing our breath to the left side of our body as we fold over the right leg. And then whenever you're ready, walk your hands back to center. And then either using your block or the mat, we're gonna come into our revolved wide-legged twist. So keep your right palm beneath your gaze and then twist to the right. Your right arm is extended up towards the sky, gazing at the fingertips. Inhale. And exhale, float the right palm back down to meet the left. Now keeping your right palm planted beneath your gaze, twist left. Gazing up the left fingertips, big deep breath in. And on your next exhalation, float the left hand back next to the right, coming back to that wide-legged forward fold. And then coming into our side lunges, shifting our body weight from one hip to the next. Alternating your bent knee, really feeling that intense stretch in the inner thighs here. Opening up those hips as we lunge from one side to the other. Flowing at your own pace here, remembering there is no rush. One more side lunge to each side, and whenever you're ready, meet me back in that wide-legged forward fold. Maybe try to come down to your forearms, challenge yourself here while listening to your body. Heel toeing the feet back together, coming all the way back to our regular standing mountain pose. Option to come into ragdoll here, grabbing opposite elbows, just allowing the upper body to dangle as we breathe into the hamstrings. Then slowly rising up to standing mountain pose, sweep those arms up tall, gaze is high, palms together, bring them down to heart center. Beautiful. Grab some water if you need. We're gonna face the short side of your mat or blanket, preparing for our little pyramid pose sequence. So we're gonna start with our little modified sun salutation. Hips are squared and facing the front of your mat. Toes are facing the front as well. Take a big, deep, cleansing inhale to lift the arms up tall towards the sky. Gaze is up. And exhale, we're gonna fold deeply. Standing forward fold to your halfway lift, elongate your gaze and come back to folding fully. Either walk or hop your hands and feet apart, high plank, bending the elbows, lowering yourself either into cobra or upward dog, floating the hips to downward dog. We're gonna step our left foot forward between the hands, coming into our pyramid pose, doing our best to straighten both knees, driving the heels down into the mat, using blocks on either side of that left foot to support the hands. And again, allow yourself to have a bend in that front knee or even both knees if that's what you need in your practice today. You can gaze out in front of you to support your lower back and neck, or you can fold deeply over the left leg. Whatever feels best for you. You're gonna really feel a deep stretch in those hamstrings. Just make sure that we're being mindful. Inhale here, and exhale to step the right foot next to the left, coming into your standing mountain pose. Deep breath in here. And on your next exhalation, rise all the way up to standing mountain pose. Arms extend up tall, palms together. Bring them down to heart center. Resetting here, we're gonna do the same sequence of poses on the other side. So make sure your hips are squared and centered, toes are facing forward. Inhale to sweep the arms up tall towards the sky. And exhale to fold forward fully, standing forward fold to halfway lift, gaze out. Fold forward fully. And then jump or walk your hands and feet apart, high plank, bend your elbows, press into the palms of your hands, upward dog to downward dog. From here, step your right foot forward between the hands, placing your palms gently on blocks or the mat. Straightening both knees, driving the heels firmly into your mat. Feel free to adjust your stance as needed. Feeling that deep stretch in the back of the legs, your hamstring muscles. Take a big cleansing deep breath in your pyramid pose and exhale to step the left foot forward to meet the right, folding over both legs. Rocking side to side in ragdoll, allowing the upper body to hang. And whenever you're ready, rising all the way up to standing mountain pose. Arms extend up high towards the sky, drawing the palms down to heart center. Again, lift the arms up tall towards the sky. We're gonna fold deeply once more. Gaze out, halfway lift. And then return back to your forward fold. Hop or step the hands and feet apart, bending your elbows, lowering yourself all the way down to your belly. Coming into your Sphinx pose with your palms and arms laying flat on the mat, opening up your heart and chest here. You could even come back into your cobra if you would like, making sure that the palms are stacked beneath the shoulders, just stretching out the abdomen. Gaze is up, start to tuck the back toes, bend the knees and widen the stance of the knees so the big toes can comfortably touch. Sitting back on your heels in extended child's pose. Maybe you want to bring the arms in, stacking the arms, allowing your forehead to rest in the arms, using them as a nice little pillow. Just release any remaining tension being held in those hips or any part of your body. Inhale, start to lift your gaze. Exhale, start to walk your hands in, sitting back in your heels, kneeling thunderbolt. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, we're gonna start to slowly swing the feet and legs around. Coming to that seated position. Bringing the soles of the feet together for another great hip opener, bound angle pose. You may have heard this pose as butterfly. Just opening the knees out to the sides. We're gonna try and keep our legs in this formation as we gently lay ourselves down onto our mat. Feel free to bring the knees closer together if that feels better on your hips, but keep in mind that the more you allow your knees to open out to the sides, the more of a great hip opener that you'll experience. You can keep your palms resting next to or on top of the hips, or you could extend your arms up by your ears, interlacing the fingertips, elongating your side bodies, torso, the arms, legs, full body is stretching out here. Breathe into the stretch, allowing yourself to melt deeper and deeper into the pose with each exhalation. And whenever you're ready, there's no rush. Start to guide your knees back together, drawing the knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins, double knee hug. You can rock from side to side, massaging your lower back, your lower spine. Maybe you want to roll the feet. If you do, just make sure that we're rolling the feet in both directions, both clockwise and counterclockwise, just to ensure we get that full range of ankle mobility. And then going right into another hip opening stretch, figure four, bringing your left leg over your right thigh, swooping the arms through the legs, grabbing the back of that right thigh, pulling the legs in towards you, really making sure that we're trying to open out that left knee, even if you have to place your left palm on the left knee to open out the hip more. And then do the same thing on the other side whenever you're ready, placing the right leg on top of the left thigh, opening the right knee out to the side, swooping your arms through the legs, reaching for the back of that left thigh. Feel free to stay in your figure four stretch for as long as you need. But whenever you're ready, we're gonna come into a laying supine twist. So knees are in towards the chest, arms are relaxed out to the sides. We're gonna relax both knees down to the left with our gaze to the right, breathing into our torso, feeling the twist throughout our entire body here. Inhale deeply. And exhale, use the strength of your core to guide both knees back to center. And then relax both knees down to the right with your gaze to the left, experiencing our spinal twist within the torso on the other side. And again, just like we did on the other side, on your next exhalation, use the strength of your core to guide the knees back to center. Wrap those arms around your shins, bringing them out of that T position. Give yourself one last big hug. You all deserve it. And whenever you're ready, you can start to relax the legs. Allow them to lay flat out in front of you, the feet to fall open gently to the sides. Your arms to relax next to or maybe on top of the hips, palms facing up. And finally, allowing yourself to just close your eyes, allowing you to fully relax in our final pose of today's session, Shavasana. Take a few moments here to practice stillness and to give your body time to really relax and restore its energy. There is nothing else that you need to do in this moment. Just breathe, just be. Here's where you could come back to the intention that you may or may not have set at the beginning of our practice. You can reflect on how your practice went for you today, feeling grateful and proud of your efforts no matter what your practice looked like. Congratulate yourself for coming to your mat, showing up and doing something that is so good for not just your body, but also your mind, heart, and spirit. Now, I invite you to relax here, laying your Shavasana for as long as you need. But whenever you're ready to carry on with the rest of your day, you can start to roll to one side, gently pressing yourself up with the palms of your hands. You could keep your eyes closed here just to stay nice and present. Enjoying these last final moments here of our practice, coming back to our seated easy pose. The pose that we began our practice here today. Just want to thank every single one of you for joining me today. And as always, we're going to bring our palms together, capturing all the positive energy that this space has to offer wherever you may be practicing, drawing it dear to our heart. Namaste.